Hi everyone, in this video we'll be running through a way to present data again, what we consider as what we call the dot diagram. Right, just quickly recall that we have collated all different ways of presenting data just based on our frequency table that we've done from our tallying. So we begin once again by looking at this dot diagram here, and we need to understand how we get this diagram in the first place. So let's refer to one of the columns in our frequency table, the first column, which states that there are 6 students with 0 siblings. And realize that it gets reflected in our dot diagram almost immediately in our first column here. We can count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots to represent 6 students having 0 siblings. And that's the core of this way of presenting of data, is that you need to count up again yourself and indicate somewhere as a shorthand working to show how many students in each category. So you have 4 students with 4 siblings, and there's 1 student with 5 siblings, another 1 student with another 6 siblings. And also what is unique about this dot diagram, you can also display 0 data points in a particular category. So for example here, you look at the category with 7 siblings, there are no students here. You also can indicate it in dot diagram, whether it's in the middle or towards the end. And one visual convenience afforded to dot diagrams is that if you look over here in the starting portion of our dot diagram, you can observe some form of clustering whereby you can see that the data points cluster around 1 sibling. So what you can conclude is that it's very common to meet a student from this class with 1 sibling or 0 siblings or 2 siblings, just around that particular set of values. And as you can tell as well, it's very rare to meet maybe a student with 5 or 6 siblings, but it's only 1 of each. So this sort of a general advantage, but I wouldn't put it as an advantage here because there's better ways of presenting data sets with our bar graph and a histogram. Later on we'll be visiting them, but just to understand that these are just ways of presenting, and maybe this is slightly more primitive, and you can enjoy the advantages later on if you look at the other ways of presenting data. So here we have a few disadvantages we want to point out. So firstly, it is not suitable if there are too many categories, same like our pie chart. If there are too many categories, you see that all these bars will be too clustered together, or there's still too many categories and for so many dots to be filled up. And on a similar vein, you can also understand that it's not suitable if there are too many data points. For example, if you to interview the whole school, my goodness, and you realize that maybe in one category there are 7 students, at 70 students, and you have to do the dot, and there'll be so many dots that you will lose the visual confidence you have in the first place. So 7 students, and from then on, or any large number, it's not very good to have dot diagrams. And that's pretty much it for dot diagrams. And like I sort of hinted, there'll be a better version of this when we look at our bar graphs. That's it for now. Thank you.